On this episode, we discuss The Crow.
Is it my favorite bird? No.
What is your favorite bird,
Yeah, I
Stuart?
gotta know now.
Probably the what's the one with the big bill? What's the pelican? Yeah, I like that guy. Oh man, he's a silly buns. Have you seen the way they dive for fish? It's bonkers.
They should make a movie out of that.
Yeah. Bring
Okay.
me back to life, carrying my soul in the little bulge of his little bill.
Hey, everyone, and welcome to The Flophouse. I'm Dan McCoy.
I'm Stuart Wellington.
I'm Elliot Kalin, and today we've got a special guest, Stuart. Who is our guest that is special today for us
We
today?
have film critic, well-known podcaster Scott Weinberg, and friend of the pod, returning guest Scott Weinberg.
That's true. It's been a while since Artemis Fowl. I'm thrilled to be back. Hi, Flop.
A while since Artemis fell, yeah. That's what America says. Like, what's Artemis up to?
America's like, oh, it's been a while since Artemis Fowl, when it seemed like we had no problems. You know, everything
Yeah.
was just fine. The worst thing we had to deal with was Judi Dench saying "top of the morning" in a tough guy voice.
Oh, and she has those like little ears, right?
Yeah, she's like a little elf or something.
My niece named her son Artemis, and she's never heard of the movie. What are the odds of that?
How about,
Probably kind of high, actually.
what,
It's like the idea that more people have gone to the Waterworld stunt show than seen the movie Waterworld.
was it named after a Hotel Artemis instead?
No,
Which
but
bad
apparently
movie.
Artemis is the female version, but then there's a male version that's spelled with a U at the end there, Artemus. And when she named him that, he's only 2 now. And when she named him that, I just went, what? But now we call him Artie, and it's great.
Well, thank you for coming to our name etymology podcast, the Name House. We're talking about The Crow. What was this? 2024.
Well, what do we do on the
Not-
Flophouse, Dan?
Oh, that's a good point.
Talk about The Crow.
Thank you for prompting.
This is a Crow podcast. This is the Caw House. Every week we talk about the Crow.
This is a podcast where we watch a movie that was rejected by critics or audiences or both. A bad movie by the ruling of the world, and we see what we think about it. We talk about it.
The International Criminal Court declared it bad movie, and we say,
Yeah.
should it be overturned on appeal? That's what we're all about, yeah.
And this is, of course, a remake of the beloved 90s The Crow, starring Brandon Lee, who tragically died during the filming of that picture. A movie that I saw in the theaters, like, any disaffected teen boy. I loved it at the time. I tried to revisit it recently. I'm like, well, maybe some things just stay in the past.
Did you
Dan,
ever
what did you do
dress
with all
up
those-
Did you ever dress up as the Crow for
That's
Halloween?
to say, what'd you do all those pictures? Because Dan, then you really got into the face paint when you were a
No,
teen,
I
right?
was not that kind. I hung out with that kind of guy, but I never had the guts to go full that kind of guy
Full
myself.
Crow. Do you guys have any other than, obviously we know Dan's a huge Crow head, but do you guys have any
call 'em Crow
a
magnets.
relationship with do you have any
Nice.
relationship with the original movie, the Alex Proyas movie, or with the comic book? Because
I'm gonna admit, I have actually never seen the original movie, and I've never read the original Mike Barr comic. And
James O'Barr.
James O'Barr. I get him mixed up with Mike W. Barr, is a different comic book writer. The James O'Barr comic, and so I know of the general premise of The Crow and the general look of The Crow, but I was coming into this naked as a baby. No preconceived notions.
You didn't
Tabula
have
rasa.
like this. You didn't like crush that fucking like that soundtrack was a banger. It's
Yeah.
it was a staple of '90s soundtracks, and I think it features probably the only U2 song I like. It has that great Nine Inch Nails cover of the Joy Division song "Dead Souls." It's just
Sounds like a great
it's
soundtrack.
nuts.
No, I don't-
Industrial and goth classic, I would say. Yeah.
What about the
I don't-
U2 Batman song, Stuart?
Oh, okay. I like that one too. I'm sorry. Those
There
are
you go.
yeah. They apparently U2 only works for me if they're doing
Doing
soundtrack
comic book
songs.
music.
Yeah.
Well, what
I mean,
about the
they are
Spider-Man musical?
They are a very
I didn't get to
dramatic
go.
band, so maybe that's like sort of where they exist best, where they can like wear their heart on their sleeve.
Yeah, yeah.
Makes sense.
Scott, what
And
about you? What's
like,
your
and they all have like fucking superhero names like Bono and The Edge.
The
That's
Edge
true.
and probably other names? I can't name a single other member of the band, but
Probably Spider-Man.
Something Mullins.
Yeah,
Larry Mullins names.
Larry Mullins, I think.
Larry
Bono,
Mullins.
The
Thank
Edge,
you.
Moon Mullins. That's a comic name. Yeah.
That's true. Moon Mullins.
Scott, what about you? What's your crow history or crow
Well,
story?
it's like Stuart said. There's two kinds of dated. There's dated like teen sex comedies from the 80s that make you cringe. And then there's dated where it's still a good movie, but it is of a moment. And
Cringe
I
all
think
the way
The
to
Crow
the
is
spank
that
bank.
second one. You watch it and it is pure 1993, 94, 95, Hot Topic, dark Tim Burton kind of, disaffected, angsty youth. And it still works for me. I think it's a good revenge story. That's about it. I like it. I don't
And that
love
was
it.
the time that we all, we had our chips in on Alex Proyas. We're like, he made this, he made Dark City. He's going to be
You made Dark City after this,
a
right?
big director.
Correct.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
And then kind of biffed it a little bit.
I think Dark
I
City is not a movie you get to make without having The Crow as a success.
Yeah.
Right.
Beforehand.
To borrow a term, it's kind of that was his blank check.
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
familiar with it.
I remember obviously, seeing the trailer for The Crow. I was like, oh, this is going to be the best movie I've ever seen. Went to the movie. I'm like, this is almost the best movie I've ever seen. Went and read the comic book. And I was actually kind of surprised at how the comic is. The comic was written and drawn by James O'Barr as a way to work through the loss of his fiancee because of a drunk driver car crash. The book it's much less of like an actiony superhero-y story and a lot more of just like this sad guy thinking about his dead partner, and occasionally going and performing acts of violence to these criminals in, I think, Detroit. And it's like stylish, but not like stylish it's not like all black leather and and strobing lights like the movie.
Well, this remake is certainly, it's faithful to the not being actiony and just moping around for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, there is a big action sequence at the end, but mostly, I was watching this, I'm like, wow, like the first, the Crow, like they're dead when we meet them. Like the first scene is their crime scene being investigated, their murder scene, and this movie takes like 40 minutes for any crowiness to happen.
This is a slow burn, or some might call it a crow burn of a movie. So why don't we
James
talk
Coburn.
about? Yeah, it's a James Coburn of a movie. Yeah.
I also do want to point out this director is known for delivering kind of like glossy, big budget stinkers, Snow White and the Huntsman.
Yeah,
And also in the vein of adapting comic books that I am a fan of, I noticed that back in 2011, he did a short film of Charles Burns's Black Hole.
He did?
Yes. I have not watched it. I am sad. Like, I don't want to be sad about it. But my spirits were raised when the news just broke about Jane Schoenbrunn, is that the pronunciation, is slated to direct a live action Black Hole, which I can't think of.
that's a good.
That's a great
Yeah.
fit. That's a great fit.
I'll look forward to that. That's a great
Stuart,
book.
I got a question for you, if you don't mind. Having read the comic book, can you tell me if this remake, any of it? Because there's stuff in this remake that's not in the original film, and I'm thinking either they created the idea that the villain is immortal. Is that from the comic book? Because it's stupid as shit either way.
So the thing is that the Alex Proyas movie took the original comic and added a whole bunch of extra stuff to it, and this adds an even more extra layer of superhero-y nonsense, because literally the guys who he's getting revenge on in the comic book are just a gang of criminals,
right?
And
that
one
works.
of them, he's
it's
just
a rotten street gang up against the guy who is back from the dead supernaturally. So it's the supernatural versus the super evil, and that works in the original Crow. This time, it really does feel like someone said, "Let's DC it up."
I mean, I understand the impulse. I think it's wrong, but I understand the impulse of being like, well, the Crow has so much not dying powers that to just put him up against like street toughs feels like, he's overmatching them so much, so like let's have a villain who can take on the Crow.
Right,
but I
and
think
then
in practice,
they
it
get
does not
don't
work.
really
Danny
do that.
Houston to play him. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Let's-
hard to take Danny Houston seriously
I
as the
love
villain
Danny
after
Houston, but man,
Naked Gun.
he could do, as the Naked Gun proved, he could do this kind of villain part in his sleep. And in this
Yeah.
movie, he kind of does.
He kind of. I mean, well, that's the thing is they're very lucky. I think they're very lucky to have Danny Houston because he
Yes.
can do it so easily.
Yeah.
but it means
True
he's
enough,
not.
fair enough. Yes,
He's not
yeah.
doing more than Danny Houston.
It
is.
also
So,
it really makes me want to see an erotic thriller starring Danny Houston because I think he can bring the fucking
Sure,
goods. He's a
he could
sexy
do it.
old dude.
he could do it. Yeah. So let's talk about the plot of this movie from the beginning. So we mentioned this is directed by Rupert Sanders. This is his second appearance on the Flophouse in a movie, right? Because he did Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah,
He's only done 3 features, and you got him twice?
Yeah.
yeah, we did.
The
yeah,
and
lucky us.
and I remember seeing Snow White and the Huntsman in the theater, and afterwards I was like, "What was that? Was that like what was that?" It was one of the emptiest feeling movies I think that I had seen.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Crow 2024 version. We start out with a classic opening. Must be classic Crow. Kid walking home finds a wounded horse outside a trailer covered in crows, and he removes some barbed wire from the horse, which I guess scars his hands forever. And
Elliot, if I could interrupt real quick, this moment inspired me to just keep a list of adjectives that this movie is as I ran through it. And the first one I wrote, capital M, miserable. What
Yeah,
a horrible
I mean,
opening.
it's
Poor
the opening
fucking horse.
right
It's a
off the
classic
bat.
save the horse moment.
But it
Right on.
doesn't. It dies, right?
He
Yeah,
doesn't
it
save the
dies.
horse. The horse dies, and also this is I'm like, okay, I guess this is going to be like the traumatic memory that this is his traumatic origin. It doesn't. He stops thinking about it pretty quickly. So his adult self is tossing and turning in bed. And
Do you
he's
think there was
talking
a
about-
moment where they're like, hey, can we lose the horse part in the beginning? They're like, I don't know. At one point, he has scars on his hands. Will the audience understand
We
what's
need-
going on?
We really need to
motivation
explain that.
for him being sad.
Well, if he couldn't save a horse once, that'll do it. He in voiceover he's talking about the pain you have when all the pain you feel when someone you love dies. Credits, the Crow. Okay, we come back. We meet these
What do you
two.
think of the credit sequence? Pretty awesome.
To be honest, I don't remember it.
Okay.
It was kind of like it reminded me of what the Girl in the Dragon Tattoo
Yes.
credit sequence,
But without the very cool, expensive song choice.
Yeah.
Did you guys happen to notice how many credits there were for producers?
No,
I'm guessing a zillion.
I know it's a common shticky joke for critics like types like us, but there's over 40 producers on this movie. I'm
Yeah,
not exaggerating.
But that's why it's so good. That's why it's 40 times as good as a regular movie.
That's the thing. The best meal you're going to have is one when 40 chefs make it.
Well, there's a common phrase: "Not enough cooks in the kitchen." And it's when something's just not working.
You've heard of 5 napkin burger.
What about 5 chef burger?
I back in the day when Twitter was entertaining, I said something like, "Oh, this movie I just watched has 28 producers. With that many producers, it must be good." Nope.
yeah.
Nope.
You're just lucky. You're like odds are one of them's going to really nail it.
Yeah, of
but
course.
Really,
also
yeah.
there's-
With that many people looking at the footage, how could the movie fail to be great?
I guess it's before we're about to be introduced to them.
We're
but
about
we
to
have
meet the characters.
two-
We've only gotten about 45 seconds into the movie.
Sorry.
But yeah.
That was
But we
my
have
fault.
our
Sorry,
two
sorry.
leads. We have our two leads. One, the Crow is Bill Skarsgård.
Well, we'll get to him.
Okay.
We'll get to him. Yeah. So because first we meet Sadie and Shelley. These two young women. They're anxious because they have a video they could use to take down some kind of super terrible bad guy. We don't know what that video is just yet. But they're like, we got to get rid of this video. Oh no.
Which after learning about what's going on, we're like, there's no way that would do anything.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not going to do what they want. Sadie walks in a world where there are multiple photos of the president next to his best friend, a notorious sex criminal. Then people are like, "What are you going to do?" I don't know. Maybe
That happens in The Crow?
Sadie
No,
walks
but it's
into
true that Danny Houston does have whisper in your ear and you'll kill yourself powers. I don't think he's going to be really worried about these.
He's got probably crazy
ladies
other
with a
powers, too.
phone
that we
Well,
don't
no, but
video.
he is worried about this video. That's why he is tracking them down. So Sadie walks into her apartment and finds a character I could only call Lady Bad Guy. I don't remember if they ever name her, but she's
It's a
kind of
great
like
name.
Oh, she's fuck, she's in Foundation, and this guy directed some Foundation. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
he directed the
Okay,
pilot
that
of
tracks,
Foundation,
that tracks,
right?
That tracks.
And so this character is listed
She's great in
as Marion in the credits, I guess. But I don't remember.
Yeah, I
hearing
don't think
her
they
name.
ever say her name.
And or if they did, it's easy to lose. But she is the bad guy. She's the one who's like, she's the second in command to the real bad guy, and she doesn't get her hands dirty, but she's always there when the thugs are beating people up.
None of these characters are, including our heroes, are given personalities. But at least I will say that this actress has presence. There's something about her that's compelling.
Yeah, she does
I
a good
would say in a like a good movie of this, like each of these characters, because they all kind of have like different looks. Thumbs up, but they all should have like cool like skills. Like somebody should have like a flying guillotine or somebody. Somebody should have like a cool like I don't know, really good at kicking or something.
one of them can slap your head right off. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
one of them farts and it's like a
if
poison
one
gas.
of those characters could slap your head right off, Elliot, we would be talking about it still.
There must be a Hong Kong action movie where there's a guy who can slap so hard he slaps people's heads off. There has to be. It's called Head Slapper, probably.
I feel like a granny character that does that is even better.
Yeah, it's called Shaolin Head Slapping Granny.
Isn't that what Slappy and the Stinkers is about?
I've seen Slappy the Stinkers. And
you are no
Calm down,
Slappy.
Dan.
it's one of the strangest movies about a seal that you could imagine.
So is the seal Slappy or the Stinkers?
Elliot,
the
we don't have time for
Stinkers
that.
are like a gang of kids.
Oh, I see.
They're sort
I
of
see.
a little rascals bunch. Anyway.
So anyway,
Morose was another adjective. Sorry.
Yes, morose is
and so
accurate.
Lady Bad Guy drugs Sadie and kidnaps her, and Shelly is worried. She calls their friend Dom. She goes, "Meet me
Shelley
here."
is played by pop
AKA
star
Twigs.
FKA Twigs.
FKA Twigs, which stands for knowing about Twigs. That's what her name means.
Yeah, you go to her for twig facts.
Exactly.
I looked up it in case you're interested. Her real name is Talia Barnett.
It's a great name.
It is beautiful.
I think Talia Barnett's that's a good stage name. I don't know why you wouldn't use that. That's a golden age Hollywood stage name. They'd be like, your name is Doris Gabowski? No, you're Talia Barnett now. So
I was born FKA Twigs.
my parents wanted me to know about Twigs. So they named me for knowing about Twigs.
My parents were eating alphabet soup at the time, and
And Twigs.
their favorite snack.
Well, my parents are. Anyway, I'm trying to think what kind of animal eats twigs. None of them, I guess. My parents are termites, so. So anyway, Shelley's worried. She wants to get out. She's being followed. In order to escape, she gets herself arrested on drug possession. And meanwhile, we're suddenly start being introduced to a very heavily tattooed guy taking a shower at an institute, and that's Bill Skarsgård as Eric.
My dude has like the crispiest, like brand new, fresh set of tattoos for like a covered in stick and poke, like classic, like Williamsburg dude tattoo set.
Now
They all
I
look
saw this-
they all look like he just got them in the last couple days.
Like he just rolled into a sticker book.
I saw this in your Letterboxd review, Stuart, and I'm like, this is an observation that a man with tattoos would make, but it was lost on me. I wasn't like, oh, these guys' tattoos are like too crispy.
Yeah, well, it just looks like they look super fresh and clean for a guy who looks like a guy whose lifestyle would suggest he sleeps in garbage piles.
He's supposed to, and he's supposed to be a guy who has hit the bottom of the barrel. He's trying to kick drug addiction, and he's living that scum lifestyle. But yeah, his tattoos look like they were done with a ruler. You know,
He looks like a henchman from Chappie.
Yes.
yeah, he does. Yeah, he looks like a D'Antwoord. Yeah,
And for somebody who has hit the bottom of the barrel, my dude is chopped up. He is so jacked and super skinny.
He's incredibly depressed, and whereas most people, when they're that depressed, they channel that into a lack of care about their own life. He has channeled into must be constant sit-ups, constant reps. Yeah,
that there are a lot of people addicted to drugs out there with, let's call it, low body fat percentages. But
that's true.
he is shredded. Muscly.
Maybe it's because I live in LA, but I have driven by a number of shirtless homeless men where I'm like, that guy is shredded. Like I could never get, and then I have to remember, like, oh yeah, he's not eating much, and that's why all of his muscles are sticking out. But
he's also got one of those cool like half mullet hairdos that everybody on Apple TV Plus show seems to have, and a little dangly earring. And
This is a thing.
Did I see a mullet there too? I think he had
he's
a
got
mullet.
that little tiny little mullet haircut
Yeah.
that like Seth Rogen has. And
I will not accept the return of the mullet. I'm sorry if it makes me
Dan,
sound
you don't
like an
get to
old
make
man.
the
it's a
decision.
very,
You don't get to make
he's
the
got
decision.
a very Australian haircut.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm not. I'll rage at a cloud privately. But
Dan,
it just-
Dan, if you ever want to be Sigma, you got to accept it. So,
is not
you know,
an attractive
just the
look.
world you live in now. Okay, so we're at Serenity Park. It's a drug rehab institute of some kind. It is enormous.
It's pretty nice.
It's
pretty
very
nice.
nice, and it's huge. They must
And
have
it's co-ed. What
and
is that
co-ed.
all
They-
about?
That
But
is
they
the
must-
weirdest thing to me. Like this is this is both run like a prison, and they also like seem to have no
And a
problem
summer
with
camp.
fraternization or like this budding romance between these.
It felt a little bit like I what was it? Mickey. What was the recent Bong Joon-ho movie?
Mickey
that-
17.
Mickey 17, where it was like, this is basically a police state on a spaceship, but we have rigid rules. But it seems like nobody really follows them, and everybody's just fraternizing all the time. But Eric is being bullied. He doesn't want to talk in group therapy. But Shelley ends up at the same facility. This is going to be a budding romance. But first, we're introduced to our villain at a fancy soiree. We see Mr. Rogue, very subtle naming. Played by one
Is there a
Daniel
Mrs.
Houston.
Rogue?
Yeah,
And
Nicholas
he's a-
Rogue.
and he has I would amazing if he's like, yeah, my father Nicholas Rogue. So that'd be so if Danny Houston, the son of John Houston, was playing a guy who was the son of a different director, I would love it. Yeah, my name is Richie Hitchcock.
Call me Rich Cock.
He has-
Oh,
Actually,
man.
don't call me that.
don't call me that. Don't call me that at all.
I didn't think that one through.
You think I've had this name for a long time? It never really occurred to me. He's schmoozing. There's a very low simmering subplot about him and a young pianist that he has an interest in, which it
She's
doesn't.
from Vienna.
But it's like always just in the background. But he gets
Talk about
taken by.
goes nowhere.
Yes, it goes nowhere.
That's the first stuff you would cut. That's nothing to do with anything.
No, it's. I think it's supposed to be. He's one of these classic bad guys where he's incredibly decadent and also refined. You know, he's been. We find out later he's been alive for hundreds of years, so he loves to listen to classical piano with his eyes closed. But he's also savage. You know, he's savage and evil.
Yeah,
and
and he likes to
sadistic.
be the one
He's
guy
bougie and ratchet.
sitting in a large auditorium listening to this.
Yeah, listening to a
girl
piano
play.
player. And the piano player's not playing like. So Lady Bad Guy
That would
takes
have
him.
gotten me so hard if she had just started playing ragtime.
And a Lady Bad Guy takes him to see Sadie, Shelley's friend, and he's like, I want to find Shelley. And he's like, I made a deal hundreds of years ago. I have to send the souls of the innocents to hell, and that keeps me alive. And he uses his whisper brainwashing power, which I have to admit, when he uses the power, I think it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Where he's suddenly whispering really fast, and you don't really hear what he's saying, and it takes them over. And I think they pull off that effect really nicely, you know?
I mean,
but it
I'll
always
give
just leads to somebody killing themselves. That's it, pretty much.
Yeah, I think what he's doing is he's leaning in and he's just saying, let the bodies hit the floor. And they're like, oh, no.
Well, it reminds me of
what
there was
I thought he was saying is predicting how much the movie was going to make at the box office.
But he's saying,
And these
he's
are
like,
the
"Now,"
40 producers killing themselves.
he's whispering, goes, now's
Right.
your chance, get out of the movie right now, kill your character, get out of here.
Right, we got 40 producers and we're going to make $18 million in total.
I
And-
mean, I'll give this movie this much. You know, it doesn't have the. Ironically, because there's so much more opera in this movie, it doesn't have the operatic look of the original. It doesn't have like the audacious, like over the top, like visuals. But it is a stylish looking movie in its own sort of like chilly way. Like I think that one of the better things I can say about it is like the movie generally looks good.
I think the movie, so this may be a spoiler for my final judgments. This is not my kind of movie, but I feel like this movie delivers a lot of what it's trying to do, whether what it's trying to do is a worthwhile thing to do. But I'm like, yeah, it looks like this is my image in my head of what a modern day Crow movie would look like, where it's a lot of a guy in a long trench coat just kind of gloomily walking down alleys and stuff like that. And like, I think it does look stylish, you know? It's just,
Dreary.
it looks very dreary.
It's a
I
dreary
could
sort of
use more
stylish.
flips.
It's dreary stylish in the way that
Lugubrious.
I haven't watched like 12 Monkeys in a long time, but I remember seeing that in the theaters and being like, this movie looks like the look of this movie is so specifically chosen to be uncomfortable and not pleasant, you know, a lot of the time. You know, every place they go to, I'm like, this place is disgusting. You know, and I feel like this is kind of like every place they go to, it's like, this place is depressed, is dreary.
Yeah, there's like water is dripping from somewhere everywhere they go.
Yes, exactly. So he talks Sadie into killing herself. Now we know what the bad guy's power is. At rehab, Shelley and Eric meet. They have a lot of awkward talking and flirting. She likes his drawing and writing. He's a very sensitive soul, you know. We never learn anything about his past except, I guess, that he once didn't save a horse and that sent him on a spiral to rock bottom. And so,
and his mom, he has kind of a mom fixation.
Oh, that's right, and he has a mom fixation. But it's a, but they don't get into it too much, right?
So they make a point of really, you know, like as opposed to the previous film, they spend some time. We get some time with these characters to kind of get a sense of their connection. Dan, do you feel like they had a lot of chemistry?
I feel like I in my own Letterboxd review, I called these a couple of the dullest dim bulbs you'll meet. Like
they are. The movie is so reliant. This is one of the major failures of the movie. This movie is so reliant on their love, seeming like the kind of cosmic love for the ages that will drive someone to damn themselves to get revenge for losing that person or to save them. And they seem to have so little feeling for each other, and all of the cavorting in apartments, rolling around in bed sheets and curtains, and like going to raves, like does not convince you at any moment that they have any feeling for each other.
And like, look, I'm going to sound like an old man again. I understand. I understand
my lawn.
I'm going to sound like an old man again. Where's my dentures?
No, I understand that like addiction is a disease. It's something that people like struggle with. Like I also don't have anything per se against like, you know, reasonable levels of recreational drug use on like non-harmful drugs. But like it bothered me that they had this big like love montage to them basically like relapsing, like finding her old stash and doing it and then having their this movie I found, this is where I really sound like an old person. I found it irresponsible in a couple ways. And one of it was that, and another is how I feel like it really romanticizes like depression and being like quote unquote beautifully broken, as one of the characters say.
And I think, well, that's the thing. I think that's why I'm talking about like it does the thing that it's trying to do, but whether what it's doing is a good thing is the issue. Because like I think again, I feel like that's what you think you're going to get from a Crow. And again, I haven't read the original comics, and I wonder if they're more nuanced. But like I feel like one of the this is a movie for a depressed teenager who wants to feel like it makes them special.
Doesn't Twiggy even mention angsty teenagers at one point?
I think so.
Possibly.
How like he wants to be like how angsty teenagers will fall in love with him, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, I feel like that's part. I feel like both our leads are miscast. I feel like Bill Skarsgård can really deliver the goods when he gets to play a crazy clown man, but like he doesn't have a lot of emotion outside of that, and I feel like. We didn't need our lead based on what happens in this movie. We don't need the lead to be like super muscular because like he doesn't do anything particularly like. Just the fact that he can't die is why he succeeds in this movie. So
you need a lot of arm strength to use a samurai sword the way he does.
Again,
Paul Giamatti as the Crow. Here's your version of the Crow. Paul Giamatti. He is a middle-aged kind of older man who finds love. Later in life than he expected to, and that love is with another middle-aged person. She's killed in a random attack or something, and he becomes the Crow, and he is like finding that there's a rage in him that he didn't realize was in there before, and now he's letting it out. I would love to see that version of the Crow. That's not a cool, sexy Crow that a teen will want to watch, which is what.
And Giamatti would be up for having a lot of cool prosthetic like gore.
You know, he would do
all
those fake tattoos. You'd see a scene where he gets those, but anyway, then it would be called the Left Crovers.
Hold Crovers, but yeah.
Hold Crovers. I'm sorry, it's not like those holdovers. Yeah,
I see Albert Brooks doing like the nest egg
also
scene as
good.
the Crow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be you. And so Albert Brooks, you have him doing his character from Drive, basically, but like a little bit funnier. So he's like, well, I mean, you can't die. It seems like you got something pretty good out of it. So maybe you don't have to kill me. Maybe that's the. But I would love to see this version of the Crow. the Hold Crovers. That's what it is.
Thank
I
you.
can remember the name of the
I don't
movie.
want to hold those Crovers.
Dan, I need you to hold these Crovers for me. The officer, I swear,
Are
I'm
you
just
in
holding these Crovers for a friend. So the bad guys show up at the facility. Eric helps Shelley escape. It is incredibly easy to escape this place.
So easy.
And they go to a fancy apartment she knows. They spend a lot of time. They have sex. They do drugs. They play Tell Me About Yourself games. They try on fancy clothes. And she makes him promise to love her no matter what happens or whatever. And they're all beautifully broken and whatever. Anyway.
What friend is this that has this apartment that she can take free reign through?
Some
the
wealthy guy, some
Probably
some
the
weird
director.
wealthy guys. Just
It makes no sense.
It's probably Justin Theroux.
They spend some time, they're bumming around with kind of like alternate hippie types. They're reading poetry to each other. They're jumping into lakes. Anyway, they collaborate on an album together.
Yeah.
Which is the funniest part to me.
They have a lot of cool streetwear that they get to try on and walk around in.
Yes,
They're like,
and she,
at one point she's like, he's like, we could live this way forever or something like. Well, eventually you'll have to get a job to pay for some of this.
no, Dan. No,
Yeah,
you
the
don't
friend's
have
going
to.
to come home eventually and want his horribly ugly fur coat back.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they're wearing a lot of clothes that look like they are like bum chic, but you know that they're like, oh man, that
Very
shirt he's wearing
expensive.
is like $700.
Yeah. This is a $700 ripped white T-shirt. Yeah. So they're making an album together, and she starts playing piano, and he gives her trauma flashbacks, and she says when she was young, she was kind of pushed to be a professional piano player, and she was playing places she shouldn't have, and saw people
She
get
starts
hurt,
playing
and
the
she hurt
opening of that
people.
Linkin Park song.
And yep, and they talk about. He's like, we can go anywhere together, and she's like, if I jumped off this bridge, would you do it? And he's like, of course I would. Anyway. At a rave, Shelley's friend Dom shows up, and he's like, Sadie's dead. You got to get out of here. And she takes Eric to a mannequin warehouse that also has an apartment in the back. And
I mean, that tracks, dude. That's movie 101. That's a cool apartment.
Yep, it's a cool apartment to live in. And the bad guy henchmen
Maniacs live there.
the bad guy henchmen are there, and they suffocate them both. And the suffocation I found very unpleasant.
Yeah.
This is a very unpleasant scene.
Yeah.
I thought
Not
it was
that I
both
want to enjoy
unpleasant, but also
suffocation,
I thought it was like effective. Like I think if you're going to make this sequence like horrible and traumatizing, I think this is not like just having them get shot would have, depending on how it was done, would be probably kind of boring. But this I felt was like, okay, this is horrifying.
Yes, and so now we're like about a little bit less than halfway through the movie, a third of the way through the movie, and we finally get some crow stuff. So Shelley sinks into like a metaphysical ocean. Eric, however, he surfaces in a kind of old industrial river site.
Yeah,
and
I saw Vincent Schiavelli.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically an abandoned train
It's
station.
an abandoned train yard, and like there's like overgrown with like weeds, and there's crows flying around, and there's like a lot of. It's very cloudy, and you know, this is one of those liminal spaces the kids talk about. It's literally
they
liminal.
sure do. Yeah.
Mopey is another
fucking
adjective.
stop.
Yeah, kids are always talking about liminal spaces these days.
And
It's just 6, 7 liminal spaces. That's the kids these days. Yeah.
again, it's
Bet.
too gloomy for me to get any joy out of. But I thought this was kind of a cool like limbo notion that
Yeah,
it's just
it's a
this
neat. I mean,
train
it's a place
yard.
you wouldn't want to hang around in, but there's an
Yeah.
old man hanging around there.
If you
He's
were
like,
showing me a book of concept art, I'd be like, yeah, this artist is good. But
Yeah.
to what end? To what point?
It looks like a really good level of the video game I'm playing right now, Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Oh, okay. So,
right. I'm playing Power Wash Simulator 2.
That sounds awesome.
These both sound like made up names to me. They're just stringing together like 4 words.
Okay. Well,
So,
don't worry,
uh,
Dan.
Power
Afterwards, you
Wash
can
Simulator
Google all
2
of these
is
things.
very good.
Stuart, is that the
Okay.
one? Is that the game where the gamers were mad that the bee lady was not sexy enough?
Probably.
Okay. So
Is there a bee lady?
I think so. I mean,
Okay.
there's like you play like a little bug.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's the bug lady. This was. So there's an old man there, and he goes, "Hey, sometimes something so bad happens that someone's soul can't rest." And a crow shows up and shows them how to set things right. And Eric's like, "I don't believe that." And he wakes up back at the place where he died. What's this all about? There's this bad cop that shows up to get Shelley's phone. He shoots Eric, but Eric gets right back up and fights him. Eric gets stabbed. That doesn't stop him. It's almost like this guy has become the crow. And
Do you think that's a Central? We got a crow. Over here.
we got a crow?
You ever-
We got a 514. Oh,
You ever
that's a
see
crow.
that movie, The Crow?
We
It's
got
like
one.
it's
for
like
real.
that, but less operatic. Eric kills the bad cop, and then his wounds heal really quickly, but it's painful. And he walks around in the rain, followed by a crow. He goes back to the bridge that he used to hang out with at Shelley. He thinks he sees her, but he sees her jump off the bridge. He follows, and he ends up back in the afterlife. The old man is like, she went to hell, but if you get rid of her killer, then you can and kill all the baddies. You can get Shelley back if your love remains pure. If your love becomes impure or you doubt your love, then it's not going to work. And you can feel pain, but you can't die, which is a very...
You can swap places with her, right? Is that...
At this point, I don't know if he has to swap yet, but it's like, because I think he has to swap later because his love, he doubts his love for a moment.
Or he wants extra juice or something.
Yeah, he returns to the living world and he finds this tattoo artist friend of his and gets a gun from him. And he tracks down Shelley's mom and finds all these pictures that were hidden in a wall, I guess, or a closet, along with her employee ID for Shelley at Rogue, a theater and art space owned by Mr. Rogue. Interesting. Look at this detective work. He's really putting the pieces together.
And Mr. Rogue's like, well, Shug.
Don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
I don't absorb your powers and memories.
Who knew that being a concert pianist was so hazardous?
Yeah, it's a hard life. It's a hard life.
Isn't that a movie, the John Cusack? Yeah.
Actually, he'd be like, "Come here, touch me. I want your crow powers."
Yeah.
Oh, Shug, touch me with them crow powers.
So is Rogue the superhero? Is she the daughter of Nicholas Rogue? Is that what it is?
Yes.
No, I know. She's Mystique's daughter. Anyway, so Eric goes there. He finds one of the killers, tries to question him, but he just ends up shooting him.
The band, the Killers?
He finds the whole band of the killers. He finds one of the henchmen. And then he catches a carload of the henchmen, and the lady bad guy are escaping. And he fights them all in a tunnel. He's in the car, and there's lots of gunfight shots and stuff. And he gets knocked out of the car and run over by a truck. But of course, he heals painfully afterwards.
Thoughts on this action sequence? You guys loving it?
Pretty good. I
thought this was a good sequence.
He crashes into the windshield, and because he's the Crow, he just uses it as an opportunity to get into the car through the broken window, and then he gets pushed out under a truck and gets all mangled.
And I like that they do a good job of having enough times that bad guys are confused that he's not dying yet, but not doing that too much. Not having it happen so long that you're like, come on, guys, just deal with it. This is the situation.
I wish they raise the blood level a little bit so that when he gets smushed and stuff, he gets everybody. And it was. I just wish it was gross.
The final. I think they're saving that for that big final opera house fight where it gets very gory. Yeah.
I mean, he is not. I guess there's that moment where his guts start to come out of a hole in his stomach. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, you want to see more him dealing with that kind of damage.
Yeah, that he's the terror tactic of fighting a guy that if you smush him, he's still fighting you.
You want it to be like the
flat stick body horror version.
You want it to be more like the end of
super crazy.
The end of the Running Man the book. I don't know if the upcoming movie is going to do this.
Yeah. Where everybody's favorite
where
reference
he's crawling,
guts.
his guts are hanging out, and he's crawling to the cockpit of the plane, and his intestines get snagged on one of the seats of the plane, and they were being pulled out of his body as he's crawling towards the cockpit.
I remember reading that after having seen the movie and being like, what the fuck?
I don't remember this part. They must have cut it. They probably filmed it, but cut it.
Yeah, probably.
They probably cut it and just put Dynamo in there instead.
I will say, whenever this movie switches into action mode, it's pretty good, but that is
very rare.
8% of the film.
Yeah, there's two
it's mostly mope mode. He's mostly moping around.
That one is decent. And then when it gets to the opera house, I don't want to jump ahead too far, but in another film, that would be a great set piece. It's just there's no personality to it. There's no,
and it's also just one. It's just one thing after another. We'll get to that one, but it's there's very little build to that. It's just here's a kill, here's a kill, here's a kill. So Shelley's mom tells Rogue that Eric wants to kill him to bring Shelley back, and the mom did some kind of deal with Rogue. I don't know, and he uses his voice power to make her kill herself too. And Rogue is like, "Get me Eric. I want this Eric."
I keep picturing Rogue from X-Men when you say that.
I know. It's a dumb name for them to give him. It's because he's a bat. They might as well call him Batty.
I feel like he was originally, they called him Rogue because it's a villainous name, and then Rupert Sanders came in and wrote on a chalkboard ROEG. And all the film students went, ooh.
We sound like fucking Skeksis right now.
Well, they're all getting blowjobs at the same time.
I get that.
That's how they recorded the Skeksis vocals, Dan.
Wow.
Wait, how was it they recorded Skeksis vocals? I missed it.
All the vocal performers were receiving blowjobs, according to Dan.
That's what it was.
Let's check the trivia.
According to me, I was the one who said
that's what Jim Henson was like.
People specifically.
Highly inappropriate. appropriate for a family film.
No, because that's Jim Henson was like, "There's only one way to get the sounds we want." Frank Oz, you need to go into that room and get a blowjob right now. And then his were all like, and they're like, "It's not working. It's not working." Dave Goles, get in that room and get a blowjob right now. Better. Frank, do it again. Try it again. I can't do it anymore, Jim. No, try it again, but do it Miss Piggy this time. No, it's not working. It's not working,
I feel
Frank.
like I'm back at the Muppet live script reading I was at last night, featuring our friends Griffin and Hodgman.
That feels like the most tailored to Dan McCoy live event anyone could invent, is a live script reading featuring popular podcasters.
Doing
Janet
the Muppets
Varney
also.
was there too. Mark Gagliardi, a couple of Max Fun people. Anyway.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Damn,
so-
you're really traveling in rarefied air here. This is amazing.
Well, I bought a ticket to see it. I know it's like,
Okay, never mind then.
You didn't get dragged up on stage like the Bruce Springsteen video?
yeah. We've heard you've got a pretty
Dancing in
good
the Dark,
gonzo.
that video?
Like Courtney Cox?
Yeah, Courtney Cox in it? Yeah.
Lethargic was another adjective. Should I stop with this bit?
Not
I think
Courtney
it's
Cox,
not.
though. She's a
No,
sparkling
she's very
presence.
energetic,
No.
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
she's still great.
especially those ads with Lisa Kudrow where they're talking about some mobile game that you can play. It's crazy.
Don't know those.
You haven't seen these ads? It's nuts.
No,
No,
but
I haven't seen
I
them.
have been saddened by like the cavalcade of celebrities I've seen hawking mobile games.
Dan,
Dan, you have to
I
understand,
don't-
these
I
people
don't-
have no money. They need the work.
Well,
Better
no, I
than-
mean, like, I feel like it is an indication of how bad the industry is. It's just like,
Yeah.
I guess this
I think
is
it's
what
more
we
an
gotta
indication
do.
of how much money the mobile games have. Is there
Exactly.
throw a lot of money.
They
at
got to
people.
spend that money on something, and it's advertising.
Yeah. So Eric stops by their old apartment, gets a leather coat, mopes around a lot, remembers things very melodramatically. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah, he gets a gets a leather jacket. He hits the
Yeah, yeah.
jukebox.
Yeah, he hits the jukebox.
He's like, "Come see me in my office." And it's just in the toilet stall. He finds her phone and he watches a video of Rogue talking Shelley into stabbing a woman. And he walks through the rain to gothy music. He is really distraught at this. He's disappointed in Shelley. He thought she was pure. He doesn't know if he can go on because she was once brainwashed by an evil
Well,
wizard into
Wait a
killing
minute,
someone.
Elliot.
Basically,
Is he doubting his love?
he is
now?
doubting
He
his
just
love.
saw her stab someone. He doesn't know what happened.
Come on, but
Holy shit! That's
I mean,
right.
I don't know about
I
you
wouldn't
guys. I
see a
would've-
video of you stabbing someone and be like, well, he probably got demon whispered into
that's true.
doing that.
That's true. Eric doesn't know about the demon whispering. That's true.
I would
That
have
will hold up in court. It will.
Yeah. Though my thought process would have been first one, that's got to be AI. Second one, that's got to be a demon wizard. Third one, yeah, it's probably
Third
her,
one,
yeah.
he did that one. Yeah. The one where he's eating chicken while he's stabbing. Yeah, that's the one really stabbed him. Yeah. So the Rogue's goons show up and they fight Eric and they kill his friend and they kill Eric because his love has become impure. He's doubted his love. And the old man's like, "You blew it." He doesn't do it that way. That's the way Sylvester Stallone says it in Copland.
Yeah.
But it's Robert De Niro on Copland says that.
De Niro, yeah.
Yeah. The old man says he blew it, but Eric offers his soul in exchange for hers. It'll mean he'll be damned forever. He'll never see her again, but he'll do it. He just loves her so goddamn much. He'll go to hell for her.
Yeah.
And
this is the point in the movie where I'm like, how long did you know this lady?
Right.
Like,
I'm getting that Arrested Development moment where I'm like, her?
yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
that we had a love for the ages, Ron Howard. They didn't,
Mm-hmm.
It's a tornado of crows surrounds him, and one slams into him, and the old man cuts his hand, and then they
How
have
do you
like
know
a
they're
blood brother
crows,
handshake.
Elliot? It could
How
be
do I know
blackbirds.
What?
They could be blackbirds.
That's true. They look. I mean, it's. I'm just circumstantial evidence. It's called the crow.
Yeah,
You're
it's
right.
not called Blackbird. That's a
Type of
different
corvid.
The
movie.
answer I wanted.
Yeah, I mean, they could be ravens.
Yeah.
Different movie.
A magpie, perhaps.
Yeah.
And this is where
We'll have to go into
doesn't
the bird
like,
box.
Doesn't like weird fluid squirt out of his eyes and turn him into the crow makeup.
Yes, like, there's like black blood that comes out of his eyes, and he smears
Black
that
blood
over
of
his
the
face.
You mean oil?
And,
I mean black blood of the earth.
And then he goes and drinks a milkshake. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then Eric's eyes start bleeding, and he transforms into the crow we all know and love. Now he's got more superpowers. Comes back to life, heals his wounds.
He's not your daddy's crow. He's got all those tattoos.
That's true. My
And a
daddy's
cool Australian
crow.
haircut and a dangling earring.
Am I wrong?
I mean, my daddy's crow would be probably Sheryl Crow, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
So
She did some
Yeah.
good stuff.
yeah.
Did he? I know in the first movie he had the ability to come back from the dead, but he didn't actually have like Wolverine healing power.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I'm
I
I
guessing
feel
you're
like he
probably
was
right.
like He's like an unstoppable flip machine. If I
Yeah, he had more
remember.
martial arts powers
Yeah.
than this guy. That's
this
for
guy
sure.
does
So,
not have martial arts
I will
powers.
say,
That's true.
I'm a little disappointed for a guy who feels so strongly about losing somebody that he has known for a brief period of time. He doesn't really care that his friend got his brains blown out because
No.
of him. He
He
does
has
not
a,
really
no,
care at
does
all.
not bother
Yeah.
him. He has a single mission. Maybe that's a sign of him becoming less human and more an instrument of vengeance. As
I
they
think
say,
you're
when you go
doing
for
work.
revenge.
The screenplay isn't.
No, I know
Yeah.
it's true. When you go for revenge, dig 2 graves. That's what I say, because you want revenge on 2 people.
Yeah.
Uh,
yeah. No,
you don't
yeah,
want to
it's
pile
just
them
to
both
get
in
the
the same
practice
grave.
in. So the first one's going to be terrible. It's like your
That
first
first
pancake.
grave,
You
you're
need
not going to
get
be
a
able to
second
square
one.
the corners right. You need the second grave with what you've learned from the first grave. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to bury someone in that. It's embarrassing.
Dig 2 graves. Why? Practice.
Grave twice, cut once. You know.
When you, it's true. When you go up for vengeance, dig 2 graves because you're going to need arm strength, and digging a grave will give you those arm muscles that
Right.
you
The
need.
first one is just for practice to see it, like the dimensions.
Huh?
Just to know, oh, this is what it feels like to do it. Okay, I'm learning a lot. Now I can use that in the second grave. That's the real user grave. And you know what? If you dig that second grave and it doesn't work, go ahead and dig a third grave. It's fine. You know?
Yeah. I mean, the more you dig, more likelihood you're going to find some really cool rare coins or other
Yeah.
treasures.
What you don't want to do is
Or
you don't want to dig a
skulls.
grave as big as the one that Brad Pitt digs in California, which is roughly the size of a meteor crater. You don't need a grave that big. That's too big a hole to dig. You don't need
Maybe
that.
he was trying to bury the gluttony guy from 7.
Oh, that could
that's
be it.
true.
I mean, it looks like he's planning to murder an elephant when he's digging that grave. But anyway.
I'm impressed that you remember any details from California. What a
I
cat.
was actually going to say that too.
Well, you know, he's-
A similar time period as
similar time period. It's
Yeah.
a similar. I think maybe that's why it came up in my head. Similar kind of
Oh,
movie
you
in some ways.
and you've been going through all your David Duchovny films.
That's right. Yeah, I'm almost up to House of D. Is that the one? The other one he did? Yeah.
What was the one where
That's a
he
funny title.
there's the one recently that's all in like an airport.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Does anybody current David Duchovny? Now there's a good trivia category. Name this current David Duchovny film.
I can't do it.
Nope.
No, it's
But I know
impossible.
the movie you mean. I saw it on one of
Dan's
the
too
VOD
locked into
channels.
his group chat right now. You can't talk about David Duchovny.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
He's
no.
too busy. He's actually writing to the Red Shoe Diaries right now. That's the thing.
Longtime fan.
First time diarist.
Yep.
Sorry. Speaking of last night, somehow Griffin and Hodgman are now arguing the merits of the Muppet Takes Manhattan script.
I think
And I got
now is the time
distracted.
for you to weigh in
No,
on
no,
it.
I know.
Yeah.
I'll put it down.
Wait,
I'm
If
no,
only
sorry.
what were
Dan
they
had a
saying?
platform
I
on which he
wonder
could make
if
his
it's-
feelings clear.
What is it? Is it that like they are separated and then the reunion, the time between the separation and the reunion is almost nominal? Is that the problem with the script?
I don't know what the problem with the script is.
I mean,
think
I'd
it
be
lags
curious.
in the third act. I feel like Muppets Take Manhattan.
It's
other
certainly
than
not. It's not up to the level of the previous 2 movies.
the
Yeah.
ad stuff with the other frogs is hilarious.
I love
Hi,
that.
I'm Bill. This is Gil and Jill. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
that's some of the
that
best.
movie,
but
that portion of the movie made a huge impression on me as a kid, and I write about it in my essay in the book "Never Can Say Goodbye: Writers Talking About New York" or whatever it's called, which came out many years ago.
I want the part 2 where Jason takes Manhattan from the Muppets.
I feel like Elliot Kaling could write it.
I would love to. That'd be fantastic. Or they both showed up the same day, and they keep bumping into each.
Jason versus Muppets.
Or Kermit gets hit by a car, thinks he's Jason, starts killing the other Muppets.
Yeah. Whoever wins, we hope it's the Muppets. It's
Yeah.
the tagline.
That's the tagline.
Animal could take Jason.
Oh, for sure.
Probably.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Animal's the most powerful Muppet in the Muppet Extended Universe.
And violent.
Yeah, he's the Tom Bombadil of the Muppets. He's the Squirrel Girl. He's undefeatable.
Or
Yeah, just
the guy who
Goku's
throws
out.
New Zealand. That guy.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Lucy. Oh yeah. Lucy Ellen. He impales him with a fish or something. Like that. Yeah. The bat from Eric comes back to life, kills the bad guys. From bad guy phone, he learns the other bad guys will be at the opera. Of course, takes some time to finish one of his tattoos. and gets his blood makeup together, picks up a samurai sword that happens to be there, and there's more Moody walking through the streets of the opera. And this is the big
Is this
opera.
is this the Moody walking to like a Gary Newman song or something like? I mean, the movie has a couple of like bangers, but I wish they were all like late 90s new metal songs, because
You
I
want
feel
them
like
to
that
be
fits
the
that.
period you associate
all,
with it.
I want it to all be like, but not like the original The Crow. I want to be like, I want it to be like Evanescence and shit like that.
Yeah.
And
But
like,
that's not what they do. But it's better than if they did it to Randy Newman songs, which would have been inappropriate.
A little unusual.
You got a friend in Crow.
Speaking of the Muppets, Paul Williams, if they had a Paul Williams.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I think Paul Williams could do it. I think Paul
Throwing
Williams
right
could write the
along.
kind of song.
Pretty
they need,
amazing.
yeah. Moving right, actually, I'd love to see the Crow where he's walking down the street and Moving Right Along is playing. That's great. So he goes to the this is the big violent action set piece where he's just killing guards left and right as the opera is playing. And it's
John
supposed
Wick
to be.
These guys probably aren't villains, right? They're probably just hired goons.
I mean, they are all hired goons. It's like they're all just private contractors. I mean, who knows what bad things they've done in the line of their work? You know, he kills them in different ways with a samurai sword. He eventually gets to the bad guy lady.
It's like a tanto, right? It's not like a full katana. It's kind of short.
Yeah, it's a shorter sword.
It's
like
kind
a
of broad. It's
wakizashi
kind
or
of a
something.
medieval type sword, isn't it?
It's definitely a Japanese sword, though, right? It's not like a broadsword or something.
No.
like that.
It kind of splits a guy's
Don't say broad, Elliot.
face.
Sorry.
that,
It's
yeah.
not a dame sword. Yeah,
I do like when he splits that guy's face all
Yeah, it's like
that's pretty
upgrade
good.
style.
That's a nice kind of Takashi Miike type moment. Yeah. So he eventually gets to the bad guy lady, and she's like, "Oh, you remind me of Rogue. You both hate yourself inside," or something like that. And he kills her. He kills her henchman, who's the oldest of the henchmen. Which I think is very funny. That it's like you're building up to him facing. It's almost like the one issue I really have with Mandy, where after fighting his way through all the bad guys, he then gets to the big bad guy who's just an old man in the shower who's like, I'll suck your dick if you don't kill me. Like, and I'm like, oh, I feel like this is not a heightening moment, you know? But I know they're doing that on purpose. The Crow, even though he has had a massive bloody fight in the public areas of an opera house, no one seems to have noticed. He could get away scot-free until he walks on stage with the heads of the last people he killed and throws them into the audience, which I, as an opera lover, found to be not necessary. You're just there to see the opera. You do not need someone to throw a severed head at you. Being at the opera is not an endorsement of evil.
I'm going to the opera. I don't want to see somebody be super dramatic.
No,
imagine the headlines
Stuart,
in tomorrow's
Stuart, hold on
paper.
a second. If he came out and he was all covered in blood and he goes, "The opera is over," that's one thing. That's basically the way Pagliacci ends. But I don't want a severed head thrown at me in any situation, but especially not where I paid a lot of money for these tickets. It must be opening night because they're all in black tie.
Money buys comfort, and that's all you care about.
Exactly.
Money does buy comfort. But also,
Kalen over here.
I'm here to celebrate the beauty of music, the beauty of performance.
Yeah.
I don't need. There's no crime involved in that. You don't need to throw heads at me.
I don't know who sponsored this opera. What sort of demon powers they may or may not have.
I mean, I've seen shows at the Disney concert hall. I'm sure they've done some terrible stuff.
Was
I know
it
they've
La
done some
Boheme?
terrible stuff.
Is that what was playing? It's an opera?
I actually didn't know what opera it was that was playing, but it could be. I don't know.
Dan, do you know what opera it was?
It's probably some made-up crow opera.
Cropra.
I only know La
today.
Boheme because it's Frank Oz gag from the Blues Brothers. That's how I know that.
Oh.
Maybe it was Salambo, the opera from Citizen Kane.
No,
It's
he
not a
goes
real opera.
La Boheme. La Boheme. It's an opera.
Tosca is often a New York Times crossword question.
Yeah, Tosca's a great opera. I mean, again, guys, this is not a bit I'm putting on. I do love the opera. The opera is the Metropolitan Opera in New York is a special place for me.
You're 1% Kalen today.
I am exactly. I'm 100%
Elliot, how many
Kalen.
times have you been at the opera house and seen an undead, vengeful spirit behead 6 henchmen?
Good question, Scott. The answer is 0. And I don't want people to get the wrong idea about opera houses. They are not dangerous places. You will not be beheaded.
Good to know.
And also, I will say, Stuart, the opera, 100 years ago, opera was the music of the common people. Really more like 130 years ago. Opera was the music that a working man would go to see at the end of the day. And he would remember those songs and come through them.
Singing about in that song.
Exactly. His song, Opera Man.
Yeah,
Because I'm an opera man. That one?
written by William Shatner.
Yes. Shit, my dad says William Shatner.
That's what he's best known for.
Not a pulp
wait a
song,
minute,
William
you mean-
Shatner song.
You mean Tech Wars, William Shatner?
Tech Wars William
That's right.
Shatner.
You guessed it. I want to name another more obscure William Shatner thing, and I'm having
The
trouble thinking of
Devil's
another one.
Reigns, William Shatner?
That
Whoa.
Esperanto movie he did?
Yeah, it was Incubus. That's what it is. Incubus is William Shatner? Yeah.
Kingdom of
He's in the
Visiting
band
Hours.
Incubus with
There you go.
Brandon, what's his name?
He was in the band Incubus with Brandon What's His Name. Those was the two main members of the band. It was Bono, The Edge, William Shatner, Brandon What's His Name, Incubus.
Crow.
And the Crow. So Anyway, I'm just saying again. I can't let it go. If you want to go see the opera, go see it. A guy will not throw a headset at you. I promise. So
you
they
can't make that promise.
Yeah, I was just about to. How would you make that
in
promise?
my experience,
Legally, Elliot's not saying that.
in my experience, I think my grandmother would have given up her season tickets to the Met if she was expected to get heads thrown at her. She had very good seats. The head would have hit her right in the lap. She would have been horrified. Yeah. So the crowd runs off afraid, as they should, and he sees Shelley in the audience. Just a vision he's having. Eric goes to Rogue's fancy country estate. This bit was when I was wondering. I was like, where in the world is this taking place? It's just kind of a generic evil city, and where there's a country estate beside.
With
they
a
have
mannequin factory and a swanky apartment.
Yeah, they have a hero-villain taunt talk. Rogue uses his feel terrible powers on Eric, but his love for Shelley breaks through and brings him back. And he pulls Rogue into the afterlife, into that train yard, and beats him up. And it's not really that impressive to see him beat up Danny, to be Bill Skarsgård beat up Danny Houston.
Yeah, it's like the end of Eraser where Arnold Schwarzenegger beats up an old James Caan.
Or it's like the end of Naked Gun, where they make a joke out of how
that's why Danny Houston was so perfect for that movie.
Or like years ago when we saw the Green Lantern movie, where it was like, okay, so now he's up against a nerd in a wheelchair. this is the bad guy he has to defeat. So he defeats
with a deformed head.
Yeah, he beats him up. Rogue gets pulled to hell by some kind of like snaky skeletons. I liked the way those snaky skeletons look.
Drag me to hell, yeah.
And
they're
Shelley,
called Snakingtons.
And Shelley floats back up to the surface, and she's like, "I don't want to leave you, Eric." And he goes, "No, it's okay. I love you." And she goes back to life, and thanks to an EMT, it's the old man from the afterlife. Hold on a second, but Eric. He's stone dead.
Kronos.
He's not coming back.
Apparently, that's his name, Kronos.
Oh, Kronos. Okay, that's something I did not pick up from the movie. And Eric,
what, the
he's
father of Titans or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
the Egyptian god of time.
He's been punished for devouring his children. That's why he's there. Yeah, and so Eric he monologues in the train yard about how their love will live on in everything she ever does. And now he's just the crow, and I guess he just hangs out in this gross, slimy afterlife now. Like we don't see him go to hell at the end.
Yeah,
right?
that was the weird part. I was expecting him to be dragged to hell, like the film.
But if they're not reunited, doesn't that automatically mean that she's now a Crowess in the FKA sequel?
I don't think so. I mean, that
she
would
doesn't
be
get him.
Just like normal.
Yeah,
alive.
I think
I think like many people who have lost someone, she just has to keep living and continue on with her life. He gets to be a crow. Yeah,
and the thing is that over time, like she'll just start to forget him.
Does she get the chance to?
No, Stuart. Their love will live forever. When in the beginning you didn't get the feeling that this is a burning passion, a lady on fire style amour fou that can never be equaled. You know,
like if she acts real nice in her second life, does she get to go to heaven, or is she like still doomed to hell eventually?
Well, he's swapped with her, so. That's the thing. They made a big deal about how he has to go to hell and she's going to be okay. So I guess now she has a second chance, Dan. She gets to decide if she goes to heaven or hell. You know,
get up there with all.
So she marries another guy, has 4 kids, and then she just like, "Mommy, tell us the story about the guy who sacrificed himself so you could come back to life."
That would have been a way better opening of the movie than a dying horse.
Yeah, well, I want
like the Titanic kind of,
or I want the sequel where it takes place many years in the future, and he goes back to visit her. And yeah, she's like a middle-aged woman who has a family and has lost. She's that kind of fiery young spark has been tempered somewhat by the just the things of life. And he's like still this like crazy immortal demon hunk, and they both have to deal with what this means. That like he hasn't changed, but she has. And has she lived a better life in some ways? Is she at a better place than him? Is he disappointed that she's no longer the woman that he once thought she was?
And the final line is, Eric, I don't remember. I don't remember you, Eric. Sorry.
It'd be so funny.
Or she'll get a bunch of details wrong, and he's like, "No, he was a demon guy who made you do things."
Yeah.
She's washing dishes, or her husband's washing dishes at night, and the time goes, "Hey, you were telling me about that guy Eric? Oh yeah, he was that was a wild time. He was bonkers. You get when you're young, you get wrapped on people. Oh yeah, like that girl you were telling me about that you dated for a little bit. Oh yeah, I'm glad I got out of that. Anyway,
Yeah,
so we
I
got to
think
figure out the kid's school schedule for tomorrow. Who's picking up who?
Most of the sequel just takes place when she's like, okay, I should reconnect with him a little bit, and they go out to dinner at like an Applebee's or
Him
something.
and Eric, yeah,
her and Eric,
yeah, her and Eric.
And they're like realizing that they don't have as much in common as they used
They got
to. As
nothing
he
in
hasn't
common.
changed.
It's like the end of The Graduate.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, hey, do you still listen to Sisters of Mercy? And she's like, not that much, to be honest. Like every now and then,
Okay, let's do final judgments, whether this is a good, bad movie, a bad movie, or a movie you kind of liked. I'm going to say that this is a bad movie that was not as bad as I expected based on the reaction to it. Like, I think it was, as I said before, like in some ways stylishly made. Like there was some care put into some of it. It's just that all of the characters were a bunch of nothings, and like I don't like the message of the movies, and it's kind of boring. So bad.
Yeah, that was a little bit like as long as everybody had fun response.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say I think this.
Nobody got hurt. As long it's fine. Yeah.
I mean, arguably, in many ways, that makes this better than the original The Crow movie because nobody got hurt.
That's right. It was a very low bar to clear in this being a better production than the original The Crow.
I mean, this is a bad movie. I think it has the trappings of a professionally made feature, and I think it probably achieves what it's trying to do, but it is wrong. It's like it's wrong-headed. It doesn't really there's no real place for it. On some level, it feels like a test reel or a demo reel, so that so the people who made it could make like a full-on Marvel movie or something, like trying to show they're proficient enough to make an actual superhero movie because they didn't actually want to make something. I don't know. It's just very bland, and like it doesn't nothing. There's very few memorable elements of it. It's just kind of like a blah.
Because that was the Dracula review of it. Mm-hmm. I have to say that this is I think it is not a good movie, but there were at times it almost became a movie I kind of liked if I was able to tap into the kind of mopey teenager side of myself, where it's like I could see myself as a depressed mopey teen watching this and being able to look past the fact that it is very slick, like a little too slick and a little too glossy for a movie that's trying to feel like it is about like, it's tortured, broken, beautiful people, a love that lasts forever, and the only way to get revenge is to unleash my anger and my pain on those who did it. And like I think it's a competently made thing, in that way. It's just like you guys are saying. I agree with all the stuff about it. It's like kind of dull, and the characters are kind of nothing. But I think I cannot like it because of what you're saying. That like the message of the movie is one that I can't stand behind, which is that kind of beautification and glorification of being unhappy, of being depressed or despairing. And I think that it's a dangerous kind of message, especially at a time when it feels like young people, and this is a movie that's most likely you would think to be watched by young people, is my guess. Are when young people I
and
think
bad movie podcasters.
Yeah, and bad movie podcasters. That young people are, I think,
who have no depression issues, by the way.
That's the thing. I feel like young people now are more than maybe ever before are finding it harder and harder to find meaning in life. And so a movie like this that glorifies kind of like tragic trauma and sacrifice, I think, is a dangerous type of message. I don't think young people, at the same time, it's so glossy that I feel like I don't know that it's as dangerous as it could be because it doesn't hit any real emotion. It doesn't actually connect in that way. But every now and then there's a thing in it I like that. The whisper effect is a dumb idea, but I like the way they pull it off. Danny Houston, I think, does exactly what he needs to do. The bad guy lady has presence. There's elements in it that work better than I thought it would.
Presents?
What? Yeah, she brought presents.
Yeah,
but they're not great presents. It's a lot of it's a like dried fruit and things like that. But it's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
What about you, Scott? Scott, unload on it.
Bad. And this is coming from a guy who has done 260 episodes of a podcast called Overhated. I hated this movie, and I love your phrase, the trappings of a professionally made motion picture. I love that. Elliot, what you said about how it's like artsy and mopey, and it's beholden to teen and young angst, that all describes the first film. This is just regurgitated, recycled misery.
Well, yeah, I think that's the thing. I feel like if I had seen the first movie, because I still haven't seen it, maybe I'd be like, I feel like this feels like, I mean, it feels a lot of times like a very high class perfume commercial that stars the Crow. Like, and I feel like that's, if anything, that's the thing that I think blunts the edge of danger from it, because it feels like because it doesn't feel real at all. You know, there's no actual stuff.
Even in some of the worst films Hollywood puts out, most of the time, the production designer and the cinematographer, they earn their check, and they do here. But beyond that, I couldn't wait for it to end. I didn't care about the character, alive or dead. I just couldn't wait for it to end. I hated it. I'm sorry. I don't want to be the most negative, but I just think it's a soulless adaptation of a film that was a little shallow to begin with.
Especially something that, like, a story that was born out of a artist's real trauma. It's crazy to see, like, the Xerox of a Xerox of a Xerox that this movie is.
Good point. Well said.
Jackie Cation, hi, and welcome to the MaximumFun.org podcast, the Jackie and Laurie Show, where we talk about stand-up comedy and how much we love it and how much it enrages us.
We have a lot of experience and a lot of stories and a lot of time on our hands. So check us out. It's 1 hour a week, and we drop it every Wednesday on MaximumFun.org.
Most of the plants humans eat are technically grass.
Most of the asphalt we drive on is almost a liquid.
The formula of WD-40 is San Diego's greatest secret.
Zippers were invented by a Swedish immigrant love story.
On the podcast Secretly Incredibly Fascinating, we explore this type of amazing stuff.
Stuff about ordinary topics like cabbage and batteries and socks.
Topics you'd never expect to be the title of the podcast. Secretly Incredibly Fascinating.
Find us by searching for the word secretly in your podcast app.
And at MaximumFun.org.
Hey, folks. This is Stuart from the Flophouse telling you, you know what you probably need? A website. You know the best way to get one of those things? That's Squarespace. Now, Squarespace is our sponsor today, so it's important to know that Squarespace gives you everything you need to offer services and get paid all in one place. You want to set up a website where you sell stuff and get paid by it? Squarespace is where you go. Squarespace provides cutting-edge design. That means a complete library of professionally designed and award-winning website templates with options for every use and category. I don't know about you, but my wife and I just recently set up a website for ourselves, and she is a very creative person, but she also, if you're like her or I, you will appreciate having examples or templates to work off of, as opposed to just trying to pull something fresh out of the sky. So that is one of the things that Squarespace offers, is really great templates with options for every use category, intuitive drag and drop editing. You know how much I love drag and drop stuff. Beautiful styling options, unrivaled visual design effects, no experience required. We are not experienced website designers, and Squarespace was great for us. So why don't you head over to squarespace.com/flop for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code FLOP to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Hey, and this is Dan over here. I also have a sponsor to tell you about, but I also want to say I enjoyed, Stuart learning what I already know, which is that Squarespace can be a challenging thing to say sometimes.
Uh-huh. Do you feel vindicated, Dan?
No, I just, I feel a warm sense of connection.
I saw the look on your face, Dan, where I read it as, now it's Stuart's turn in the barrel.
Yeah. But speaking of warm, it's getting less warm out. You'll need some wardrobe items in your rotation that look sharp, feel good, but also feel comfortable, and you'll actually wear them. Enter Quince. And a little bonus, a little tip, since the holidays are coming up, Quince pieces make great gifts too. This season's lineup is simple but smart and easy with Quince. You got Mongolian cashmere sweaters for merely $50 that they feel like an everyday luxury, and wool coats, equal parts stylish and durable. They have a denim that nails the fit and comfort that you crave, the comfort you crave. you, Elliot. I see you craving it over there at a fraction of what you would expect to pay elsewhere. And by partnering directly with ethical factories and top artisans, they cut out the middleman to deliver quality at half the cost of other high-end brands. So you can get luxury pieces without that luxury price tag. I just got a navy shirt from Quince, a beautiful navy shirt that is very comfortable. I feel like a lot of dress shirts, the fabric can be stiff and unpleasant. This is a beautiful looking shirt that is also a pleasure to wear. So give and get timeless holiday staples this season that last the whole season with Quince. Go to quince.com/flop for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada as well. That is QUINCE.com/flop. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/flop.
Hey, the Flophouse is also brought to you by The Flophouse. The Flophouse has a bunch of Flophouse things coming up. This episode is being released on November 8th, so it is just 1 week, well, really 8 days, until we will be appearing live in Chicago.
8 crazy nights.
Yep, the second city. It's called that because it was the second city in the world after And so we'll be in Chicago. We're doing 2 shows in one night. The early show is sold out. The late show, by this point, there may still be some tickets left. I'm recording this in the past for the future, so you're going to want to check and see. It's the Flophouse Podcast. You go to flophousepodcast.com/events, and you'll find all that information. We are appearing at Sleeping Village. It's going to be super fun. Both episodes, we'll be talking about Jim Belushi movies, Chicago's favorite son, but different Jim Belushi movies. And if you've been to a Flophouse live show, you know it's a lot of fun, and you're going to have an experience you'll never be able to replicate in a good way. And if you can't make it to the early show, come to the late show. It's going to be great. There'll be 2 different shows. They will not be the same show done twice. We wouldn't do that to you. Speaking of shows and the Flophouse and different shows, let's say you can't make it to Chicago. Let's say you're in Chicago and you couldn't get tickets for these ones. Don't worry. As you know, Flop TV is on the air. That's right. The flophouse.simpletix.com is where you can go to get tickets for Flop TV. Season 3 is going on right now. A week ago, as this episode comes out, we'll have done episode 3 where we were talking about Xanadu, starring Olivia Fig Newton-John. It's not really her name. It's not really a Fig Newton. Just Newton-John, you know.
Putting respect on
Mad
the name.
Magazine over here.
Yeah, that was from our jokes and schlokes department or something like that. You know,
Joke and Dagger.
Yeah, Joke and Dagger. That's what it was. So the Flop TV season 3, it's been a lot of fun. We're having our great Flop TV season 3 has been a lot of fun. We're doing our 1-hour televised on your computer over the internet video version of the Flophouse. Each episode you get a presentation. You get us talking about a movie. You get us answering questions. You get video segments. It's turning more and more into a real television show, which is very scary to me. So go to theflophouse.simpletix.com to get your tickets. If you've missed the earlier shows where you can't make it to the shows when they air live, which is the first Saturday of each month at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, if you can't make it that time, don't worry. Your ticket gets you access to the recording, and you can watch those recordings, any of them, until the end of February, when the show will be finished. So that's theflophouse.simpletix.com, and then join us live first Saturday of the month, every month through February at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
You mentioned that it's becoming more and more like a TV show. You'll know when it's become a TV show when it's covered on Two Boy Talking Tube to Two Dudes Tonight. That's right.
That's what we have eaten our own tail, like the Ouroboros itself.
And then podcasts can stop.
So that's 2 great ways to see the Flophouse live, either in person in Chicago on November 16th or on your computer screen the first Saturday of every month, or as a recording after the first Saturday of every month. Go to theflophouse.simpletix.com for Flop TV. And I also want to mention before we go, I have a thing to promote that's just for me. Sorry, boys. This is Elliot
Wait
only. As this episode is coming out, my book, Joke Farming, How to Write Comedy and Other Nonsense from University of Chicago Press, will be on store shelves within days. You can order it online, and I think you will enjoy it. It's a book all about how jokes work, how to write them, how to develop a reliable writing process. It is helpful for the professional writer, but also for someone who's just curious about how humor works. And I think it is a funny book. It is written to be funny and to be a fun read. My wife has been enjoying reading it, and she is not interested in being a comedy writer.
Mm-hmm.
or in anything that you do.
Yeah, and she hates most of the work I do. So that's Joke Farming by me, Elliot Kalin. It's a book. You can read it.
Let's answer some letters from listeners.
Why not?
This.
Hey,
Sure.
we're here.
I'm
Might
glad
as
that you
well.
have given me consent to.
You know what, Dan?
do
No,
some letters.
let's not.
Okay, well.
What would you say if I said that,
What
huh?
else? I don't know. You have to come up with a segment then.
Ooh, then let's
do
answer the
instead.
letters from listeners.
Okay.
Now,
This
tell us
one-
more about opera.
This one
I
is.
would love to. Okay, there have been a few performances that that I go back to in my mind often. Just really wonderful. A performance of Eugene Onegin that I didn't even want to leave the
going on in this
building when it was
Muppets
over.
chat?
I just wanted to feel the
Dan's
vibrations
back
in
in
the
his
building
group chat.
afterwards. So the Met will often do a double bill, the Cavaliere Rusticana and Pagliacci, because they're short operas. They'll do those together. And so I've seen those together a bunch of times. In Cavaliere Rusticana, they bring a horse on stage, which always makes the audience impressed. And it's just a classic Met opera thing, is they'll be like, hey, guess what? There's a horse. We just bring it on stage. We sing around it, take the horse off. Everybody loves it. Horses are huge. Dan, continue.
So speaking of corvids, this is a Poe related letter. This first
the man
one.
who made Ravens famous.
King of the Segways.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is from this letter's from
Edgar
Rob.
Allan
Last name
Poe's The
withheld.
Raven Simone.
I just finished watching Roger Corman's 1963 The Haunted Palace on Tubi. The movie really highlights that it is based on Edgar Allan Poe's poem of the same name, but as far as I can tell, the only two lines from it that might loosely have something to do with the movie are vast forms that move fantastically to a discordant melody. And then in the credits, also some unnamed story by H.P. Lovecraft is mentioned almost as an afterthought. The whole movie is soaked in Lovecraft stuff, elder gods, Arkham, weird mutated bodies, etc. My question is, do any of you guys know why movies switched from valuing Poe to valuing Lovecraft? Also, do you know the earliest depictions of Lovecraft or his themes in movies? Thanks for the great pod, Rob, last name withheld.
So, Dan, you're talking about The Haunted Palace there?
That was the
I
movie.
believe that I believe is the first movie that really depicts Lovecraft stuff.
I think it's
Usually
kind of funny
based
that
on the case of Charles Dexter Ward, actually. So
Yeah.
the credits,
But
I can give you more info than the credits do. But it's always been like a great movie piece of trivia that it says Edgar Allan Poe's, but it's actually based on a Lovecraft story. Oh, it's fun.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of funny that the director who's most associated with Lovecraft stuff also had a huge affection for Edgar Allan Poe. And I'm, of course, talking about the late, great Stuart Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Having done a bunch of stuff. And I think one of his last projects that unfortunately never got funded was a Edgar Allan Poe biopic, or like a biopic about Edgar Allan Poe starring Jeffrey Combs.
Well, because Jeffrey Combs would do that one-man
Yeah.
show as
Yeah.
Edgar Allan Poe. I think so. The switch from Poe to Lovecraft is an interesting one, and I have a couple possible explanations for it. Let's see what you guys think about these. One of them is literally just the changing of generations. Poe was around since the mid-19th century, and Lovecraft wasn't writing until the early 20th century. And so there's the people who were making movies earlier on would not be as aware of Lovecraft's work, but they were aware of Poe's work. And then later on, you have guys who are writing movies in the 60s. They know Lovecraft's work because that's the stuff, it's been around for longer and they percolated with it. But I think there's also Poe and Lovecraft, they approach similar themes, which is kind of like the idea that behind normal life, there is this darker world or this darker feeling that you can't, once you know it exists, you can't ignore it. And there's a coldness about it. It does not care about you necessarily, but now it affects you. And Poe's was very much for a 19th century world, a pre-industrial world in a lot of ways, and Lovecraft's is very much for a modern world. And I think that's there's a greater like mass dehumanization in Lovecraft's work than there is in Poe's. And I think I think they speak to different things.
I was going to say something similar, that I feel like Poe, there's a gothic quality to his work that, like, unless you are deliberately doing a throwback, might feel old-fashioned to people these days, whereas kind of the more upfront sort of unknowability of the horror in Lovecraft might speak to modern people more.
And you could also say Poe doesn't have monsters. Poe has
Yeah.
strange things and crazy people, but he doesn't have monsters. And
Not
Lovecraft has
Stranger
big
Things.
monsters.
Much
He doesn't have
subtler,
Stranger Things was based on they say Edgar Allan Poe's Stranger Things, but really it's based on H.P. Lovecraft.
Mhm.
And I think once you get to a world that is, I mean, Poe also, like, Roger Corman was especially, he loved Edgar Allan Poe and he's making all those Poe movies. But I think it was also a way to like class up what he was doing. You know, if he can say this is an adaptation of Edgar Allan Poe, then there's instantly a literary quality to it, which is kind of what they did in the 30s with like movies like The Raven or The Black Cat. Where they're
I think one theory I have is that Poe is kind of like you guys said, if you're doing something in the 1800s, Poe sticks firmly there. Lovecraft seems to be much easier to adapt to the modern era.
Yes, I think that's true.
And futuristic.
Yeah,
Okay.
and futuristic eras. And also that like Poe was respectable when people were making movies in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and Lovecraft was not. And it wasn't until probably, I don't even know, maybe like the 90s or later that Lovecraft was respectable. Lovecraft was like literature.
Poe is Argento and Lovecraft is Fulci.
I guess that's a way to put it. You know?
But when we say respectable, we also should, of course, note that we mean that his literary works became respectable.
Oh, not that
Lovecraft's personal views have become less and less.
Lovecraft, the human, has become less respectable.
Dan is exclusively defending Lovecraft's
no, but also
crap.
but also Edgar Allan Poe was like a not great guy. Also, like I just purely mean that their work has been accepted as literature at different times, and also that there's a scale difference. Like Poe is working on the scale of regular people for the most part, whereas Lovecraft is working on these enormous cosmic scales.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that movies, it's hard to make like a little movie about a little spookiness unless it's like it's a super low budget movie. Whereas you could do, but even then, like you don't see a lot of like big budget movies based on, you don't like big studios don't make Lovecraft movies that much.
Yeah, I mean,
but, like,
didn't Del
big
Toro
studios
try and do Mountains of Madness? And they're like, nah.
They're like,
I
I don't think so.
Nah, giant penguins, fuck off.
Speaking of Poe, I'd love for somebody to do an adaptation of Hop Frog and do it straight. Like, just take directly from the story.
You get some of that in the Mask of the Red Death, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Fool's Fire, you're right, is basically Hop Frog. Yeah, that's Hop Frog. Yeah. But Fool's Fire, I mean, it's all these puppets and stuff. Like it's not.
Oh, I've never seen that.
But it's a very straight adaptation.
Yes, it's something Julie Taymor did years ago. That's where it's like I think the main character is a person, and there's like two human actors in it, and the rest are all big puppets. Like the king and everything are all puppets.
This was on stage, right?
No, it was like a TV special, and because they used to show it on PBS, and I remember seeing it as a kid, and it scared the hell out of me. I thought it was so strange.
I'll dig it up. I want to see that.
Let's get to the second letter.
So hopefully that was an interesting answer. It wasn't a funny answer.
Well,
I made some fucking jokes, dude.
Yeah, that's true. Stuart came with some
were
yucks.
they funny jokes?
Yeah.
Whoa.
But
didn't realize it was my fucking performance review day.
But Dan was
Poe
right.
versus Lovecraft would be a good epic rap battle of history.
Mm-hmm. So Dan, you and Elliot can do this cool YouTube video where one of you is Edgar Allan Poe, the other is
that's what we'll do. We'll rapping at each other.
I'm thinking Dan should be Lovecraft, and then you guys just do some sick raps against each other.
But I will say, as Dan said, like as someone who is a huge fan of Lovecraft's work, like obviously his personal views are terrible.
Yes,
he was a huge racist. A lot of that racism was baked into his work in bad ways, So.
So both of these letters, we're taping this during October, but this is will come out in November, but they both are sort of more October letters. This is from
hopefully the world is less spooky when this comes out.
This is from Heather, who writes.
Heather writes, "How's your October going?"
As part of the spooky season, I was rewatching the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and my husband and I were discussing parties in movies. If you had to choose any party in a movie to attend, which would it be? The obvious answer is, say it with me, Stu, Bilbo's 111th birthday party.
It's going to be awesome.
But what other party would you
Nobody's
choose?
going to disappear.
What other party would
going
you
into
choose?
the party.
It's
At
kind
least
of
no one's
funny.
going to disappear at the end. Certainly not the birthday boy.
When you said that me and Stuart are going to say it together, I thought for sure you were going to say toga.
Oh, no, that's...
I don't know.
I feel like I've progressed emotionally past the toga party and animal.
Scary
Yeah,
Eyes
good
Wide
point,
Shut
good
one,
point.
maybe? I don't know.
That would, that's...
I do not want to be at that party at all. So Dan sends us the questions ahead of time, but he doesn't send us the full letters. So my answer was going to be the party in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, but I think instead I'm going to say the New Year's Eve party in the Thin Man, when it's all of the high society types and Nick Charles's like crime buddies, and everyone's getting drunk and like being silly, and it just seems like a really fun party, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm having trouble thinking of parties, but so I'm gonna sidestep this question with a different answer, which is concerts I wish I could be at. And that, of course, would be the concert from the end of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey when the robots come and punch off other robots' heads. If you saw that in a concert, you would lose your shit. I would shit my pants.
Yeah, and imagine how much scarier it would be if you were at an opera and actual human sever heads were thrown at you. Yeah, same thing.
That would be incredible. If only I could attend such an opera.
I think there's a whole genre of like teen parties and teen comedies that are like so much more impressive than any party that I ever experienced when I was young.
Any teen party in a movie where there's a stage and someone is performing using an actual microphone.
Oh my
Like,
God.
wow.
If I was at that party where they play Scotty Doesn't Know, the song of the summer.
Let me be clear. Also, in this scenario, I'm also a teen. I'm not just me at my current age hanging out.
Similarly,
invited the 50-year-old
Actually, I would
podcast.
like that party. The one Dan just said where old Dan is at the teens party.
Similarly, if I'm not me, but I'm a gremlin, I want to be the party the gremlins are throwing at the bar in Gremlins. They're having a great time. But
Or you
Nothing
could go
bad
across the
happens
street
to
and see
any of
Snow
those
White.
gremlins.
yeah. But if I'm not a gremlin, I want to be doing a party. Yeah, or I could just go watch Snow White. They're having a great time too. Gremlins have a great time.
They do have a great time.
Yeah.
That's right. Hey,
They're
let's
the real heroes of that movie because they enjoy themselves.
let's move
I don't
on.
like anything as much as gremlins like breaking shit.
My answer is simple. I want to go to this sleazy ass
All right.
bachelor party from Bachelor Party just so I could meet Tom Hanks. That's it.
Yeah, that's
And then I'd
pretty
leave.
good.
Then I'd leave. I mean, this is a mainstream comedy that has like mule sex jokes in 1984.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, it's a very only in 1984. That was the era of.
Well, that's what Orwell said. What he said, if you want to see the future, imagine a boot stomping on a donkey sex joke for all eternity. Yeah, in 1984. Watching that. I mean, I haven't seen that movie in such a long time, but I have to imagine watching that movie is like seeing your actual dad's bachelor party stuff, and you'll be like, "Oh, Dad, like, what are you doing, Dad?"
Gross
Like,
as
this
hell.
is-
It's such an amiable movie, but so many sleazy things happen.
Why do they order hot dogs at the all male review?
It's a foot long.
Let us move on to recommendations, movies that are probably a better use of your time than The Crow 2024.
Is that even possible?
Impossible.
I'm going to recommend a movie, as I mentioned, though this is in November. We're recording in October. I saw this at a friend's Halloween horror movie marathon.
I'll allow
he
it.
was throwing. Thank you, Stuart, for the permission.
I see what you're going to recommend, and this has been on my watch list for a really long time, and I keep meaning to watch it.
You're building up suspense. The film that Stuart wants to watch, and I have seen and recommend, is Next of Kin from 1982. It is an Australian horror movie. It is set in an old folks' home in a remote area of Australia. That there are a series of mysterious deaths. It's kind of like an Australian giallo in a weird way. It starts out pretty slowly, but as it goes on, it cooks and rises to a truly over-the-top great ending. So I recommend Next of Kin.
How did
from
you-
Deep
82.
cut, man. That's impressive. All I remember about that is the bathtub scene.
Yeah.
It was on I think Criterion or something as part of their like some weirdo collection.
Not
how
the
did
Patrick
you saw-
Swayze Next of Kin, right?
Yeah, not the Patrick Swayze one. Did you said you saw it at a party. I was just wondering how I could stream this sucker.
Well, because I saw it at a party, I'm not sure. I think it was on.
Real
I
quick,
think it was
text
on,
the person who threw the party.
I think they just had a file. I think it was on Shudder for a while, but
Okay.
maybe not anymore. I don't know.
I'm going to recommend a movie I saw a couple weeks ago that I've been sitting with and I really liked, and that is the newest Luca Guadagnino movie, After the Hunt. This is a movie that stars Julia Roberts, Andrew Garfield, Io Edebiri. Did I say it right? It was near. Okay, it doesn't. Michael Stuhlbarg, Chloe Savini. This is a movie. It's hard to explain exactly what it's about, but it is about about allegations of sexual assault or sexual something like that in academia and the complications that are caused by everybody's various like looking after their own interests and everybody's as the viewer does not get to actually see any of what happens. It's all based on everyone's accounts. It's a complicated movie, and I think it's the kind of movie that intentionally is designed to force you to question your own biases. It is certainly not a movie for everyone, and it deals with some topics that not everybody's going to like. But it is a Luca Guadagnino movie, so it's beautifully made, and I think it's incredibly well acted. Andrew Garfield, in particular, is incredible, and I think it's I think it's a really great movie, and I think it's going to again, I think it's not a movie for everyone, but I think there's a lot of really good stuff in there. So check it out if that sounds interesting to you.
Saw somebody refer to cancel culture, the movie.
That is certainly the a relatively low media literacy take on the movie.
That's what people said about Tar too, right?
Well, that's the thing. I feel like it's I think it is suffering from similar some of the same responses that some folks had to Tar.
Well, I want to talk about a movie that is equally complicated, equally complex, and that is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea from 1954, which my younger son is in a big Jules Verne phase right now, and so we were watching, and this is one that I had not seen in so many years, and I didn't really remember very well, and we started watching it, and he was just enthralled by it, and I was like, this is a much better movie than I remember it being. Like, it moves real well, the performers in it are great. Kirk Douglas seems to be having so much fun playing this kind of like his old-fashioned type of character, which is kind of like a brash, kind of like guy who doesn't think through things, as opposed to the Spartacus type of, guy who is a noble hero type thing. There's one scene involving natives on an island that are probably cannibals that even though my son loved it, I was like, this has aged slightly less well, but the effects in it look great still. All the design stuff looks really great. The underwater stuff is still really cool. And it's just a super fun movie. It's just like a fun old-fashioned adventure movie, and it feels like it is not it's not afraid to be like fun, but it's also not stupid, So I'd recommend it. It's the original 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. By original, I mean I think the 50s one. I mean, obviously the book is the original.
I remember as a kid just being blown away by the sets. Like the sets are so cool.
The scale of it is wild, especially if you're a kid. I saw it when I was like 10, and I loved it. I haven't seen it since, but it's a great adventure movie.
The Nautilus effects and everything like that, they all still work great. Like it really looks cool. So
I would like to recommend an Australian art film called Primitive War, and it is about a platoon of Vietnam soldiers who are sent on a very dangerous mission, and they come across an entire area populated by dinosaurs. And it is fun. It is it feels like an 80s action movie combined with like a Spielberg aspirant. Not Spielberg, but somebody who is aping Spielberg. Dare I even say Joe Dante-ish. It is fun. Got Jeremy Piven, which I don't love. But other than that, it is, and it's a bit over long. It's over 2 hours. But it's on VOD now. It's called Primitive War. It is, let's put it this way. It's better than the last 5 Jurassic sequels. No bullshit.
Well, that's been...
Well, it's also got the brother from True Blood with the really crazy abs.
Ryan Quanten.
Yeah.
Stuart, this is still up your alley. Anybody would like it, but I was pleasantly surprised. I thought it'd be like, a bunch of dead air and 2 good action scenes. Nope, it's fun throughout. Cool. It is a good B movie.
That has been, this has been the first of our episodes in Movember, as I would like to remind listeners that we are doing 4 full episodes in this month. So for
welcome.
those of you who aren't as into the minis as you are the main episodes where we talk about a bad movie, you get 4.
If you're not listening to that two boy,
thank you.
If you're not listening to those episodes, come on, you're missing some gold.
Yeah.
But we thought, why don't we give you Mo Flophouse in the form of 4 full episodes with 4 great guests. I'm so excited for the rest of Movember. I'm so excited to see if it breaks the Flophouse, if we can't handle it.
Well, we are
Or is
doing
this the crucible in which we form an even stronger bond?
pick 'em up.
Crucible?
We did pick a month
Crucial.
that along with this, of course, we have Flop TV, but we also have a live show that we're flying to in Chicago. So it's whole lot
So
of
we might
Flophouse
be
for us.
broken. We might get
We
broken.
might be broken. But speaking
I'm going
of
to have
great
to quit
guests,
my other jobs and dedicate myself wholly to the Flophouse.
speaking
Yeah.
of great guests,
We will
we'd
be
like to
beautifully broken. Beautifully broken.
thank
Yeah.
Scott for being here. Scott, before we fully sign off, are there things you would like to plug or point
Please.
people to?
Oh, well, anybody who's listened to my podcast, Overhated, would know that these three gentlemen separately have all guested at one time or another. And I hope to have Elliot back on again soon.
Yes.
Dan and I just recently did an episode on 1981's Neighbors, which is a fascinating, weird comedy. Stuart, what was your last episode on Overhated?
We did Ice Pirates.
The Ice Pirates. Yes, beautiful. And a couple years ago, Elliot, you did.
I don't
I
know.
don't
Which one
remember
did
off
I
the
do?
top of my head.
Oh,
Been a
I'll
while.
look it up.
But we're going to have him back soon. And
Yes, I would love
yeah,
to be back soon.
Yeah, it's just basically
Oh, we did Masters of the Universe. That's right. We
Masters
did
of the Universe, 1987. Perfect. Yes. And it's basically, I'm a huge fan of the Flophouse and any kind of Mystery Science Theater. Anytime you're knocking a bad or questionable movie, I'm a huge fan. But years ago, I thought, why not try to do the opposite? Why not try to take your Ishtars, your Waterworlds, your Catwomen, and talk about why they're so disgustingly hated? Was there some historical reference? Is there some kind of reason? And the guest will always like the movie.
And I do
even
like
though-
I do like the twist where it is like in a way almost like defending a movie that you remember kind of liking, or like
Mhm.
at least trying to take a different perspective on it.
Yeah.
Yep. You can find it at patreon.com/Scott E. Weinberg to subscribe. And if you go to your normal podcatcher, you will find some free episodes, but it's mostly a Patreon program. And I am extremely grateful to all the patrons and the guests like these three here. So thank you.
Well, we
Thank
would
you,
also.
Scott. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Yes.
So
Oh,
great
it was
to have
a
you.
ball. You know, I love doing this show. I love it.
And in addition to thanking Scott, we would also like to thank Alex Smith, our producer. He goes by the name Howell Doughty. You can find his music at Bandcamp. You can find him on Twitch, doing Twitch streams. You can look up his podcast. I'd like to thank our network, Maximum Fun. MaximumFun.org is where you find all the great Max Fun shows, and you can become a member who supports us and get access to bonus content. But for this episode of The Flophouse, I have been Dan McCoy.
I am still Stuart Wellington.
I am Elliot Kalin, the robot.
I remain Scott E. Weinberg.
Also a robot.
Also a robot.
Goodbye
The robot
from the
virus
robot
is catching.
family.
No, they're all becoming robots now.
Beep boop.
Yeah, I'm trying to get us both better in the frame.
You were both in the screen.
I know, but like
You look
sort of
great
like
now.
more cut off somehow. I think
Well, we're
you
not going to
moved.
use any of this video, are we? Because I hate being on.
We're gonna use a little clip, probably. But I don't know.
Not the whole thing.
Not the whole thing.
Okay.
We use a little clip for promos.
Is that okay, Scott, if we use a few short clips for social
Yes.
media promotion?
Yes,
Yeah,
let
it's
me
not
just
gonna
push
be-
back a
none of-
little.
Yeah, none of
Fine.
them will be longer than 17 minutes.
Okay.
No.
Maximum Fun
A worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows.
supported
Directly
by you.